When you're talking about money in a bank, you often earn a particular amount of interest. So in this example, you have $10,000 in the bank and you're earning 8% interest each year. So you're gaining an additional 8% of your money. So if I put in $10,000, I would have, after 1 year, I'd have $10,000 times 0.08 to represent 8% or 8 cents. And that would give me $800. So at the end of 1 year, I would have the $10,000 I started with and the $800 more. I'd have $10,800 at the end of 1 year. Well, now next year I start my year with $10,800 and I get 8% of that. And my 8% continues calculating off of the amount that I had at the end of my account the year before. So I keep gaining extra money each time. Not exactly $800 each year, but now I get 8% of my $10,800, a tiny bit more. If you want to calculate the total amount of money, not just the 8%, you have to take how much money you started with and add on the 8% of it. So if we were to make that into a now next rule, we'd have to take where we are now times the 0.08 for 8%, and then we'd have to add that to the amount of money we had now. That would give us the next amount of money in the account. Another way to think about this is that we get to keep all 100% of the money we had in the bank account, and then on top of that 100% of our money that we had to start with, we get an additional 8%. So now we have a total of 108% of our money by the end of the year. So if we represent 108% as a decimal, move it 2 places, we'd have 1.08. So I could calculate $10,000, and I'm keeping all 108%, 1.08. That would also give me $10,800. Either calculation would work. So our now next rule could also say we take where we are now and multiply by 1.08. To represent 108% of the money equals the next. As a y equals rule, we would have how much we start with. Oh, we need a starting amount first. Start at $10,000 for our now next rules. Start at $10,000. Now for a y equals rule. Y equals, we have $10,000 and we multiplied it by 1.08. And if you multiply by 1.08 once, you would multiply by 1.08 for the second year, so that would be squared times 1.08 a third time, so to the third power, times 1.08 over and over again to the x power. Let's look at one more example. It says Emma earns $7,750 and invests it into a bank account that earns 4% interest annually, meaning that each year she keeps all 100% of her money and she gains 4% more. So she's actually having 104% of the money in the bank account at the end of the year. So as a decimal, 104% out of 100% is 1.04. We could make our now next rule. Start at $7,750. Next equals now times 1.04, 104%. And as a y equals rule, y equals $7,750 times 1.04 repeatedly, so to the x power. After 5 years then, well, what do these variables stand for? The y is how much money she has in the end. The x tells you how much time has gone by. How many times do you have to multiply by that 104%? So after 5 years, she would have $7,750 times 1.04 to the 5th power, which is about $9,429.